Получается,
So
Сеня, кто я?
we are recording. Hello everyone, and today we have a very special guest. We talk a lot in Russian. We have to switch to English because our audience mostly English speaking, and we will talk English. But it was a pleasure talking to Valerie in Russian. We discovered a lot of things. I mean, I discovered a lot of things every single time I speak to this person. Okay, let me give a brief introduction to Valerie because he has very unique personality, unique background. He's 3 times champion of athletics, Soviet athletics, scientist and doctor. He is the author of the method that healed people. The method that not just helped thousands for decades to reach new heights in sports, but actually healed people with multiple serious health conditions, including neurological diseases, heart diseases. The result that the method he developed provides to people absolutely outstanding and amazing. And today we're going to discuss it. He's going to, for us, disclose the secrets. Also, I would like to start before giving the microphone basically to Valeria. I would like to talk a little bit about the Russian astronauts. As I know, when Soviets were preparing people to go to the space, literally, the question was how to prepare those people. And when they gathered all the really healthy guys, really like strong men to go to the space, they invited doctors. And doctors were really confused. What were we going to do with them? Because doctors, medicine, meant to heal diseases. They need diagnosis. They need real diseases to deal with people. They have no idea what to do with the healthy one that consider it to be normal and healthy from the medical perspective. And this time, new direction appeared in Soviet medicine that actually helped a lot of astronauts to reach their highest, the best health results, to go to the space. And we know that Russian astronauts is known worldwide to be able to stay out of space for longest period of time. So Valery is actually basically he actually medical doctor, and he basically he's a good representation of that direction of Soviet medicine that works with the healthy, considered to be normal and healthy. But they developed a very specific approach to the measurement, to the understanding, how we can get our better version ourselves and reach and live the longest and healthiest life. The big part of his research is actually dedicated to longevity, and we are going to discuss longevity as well. So very impressive results. And Valery, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for invitation.
So let's start a little bit with the absolutely impressive. I will give a little bit of a couple of pictures, a couple of slides here. I know that you are champion of athletics, and you are medical doctor. Tell us a little bit how did happen and how actually it helped you to reach the championship.
Okay. And probably a little bit prehistory. When I've been in high school and in Soviet time, usually we didn't have chance to see wall because iron wall and politically not allow for majority people from Soviet Union to travel outside country. And my during high school, I decided like what is the best way or possibilities to see world, and I saw some athletes who competed in national team goes outside and to see world. I decided the best way probably to be doctor for national team like sports doctor,
Mhm.
and it will be a great condition for this way. At the same time, to try to be athlete as well, and maybe achieve some achievement if I will be part of national team as well, able to travel outside country at the same time. And I decided, plus my mother was biologist teacher in and she's influence very strong for me because we have huge library and in my home, and I read many books about like everything like biology, like human
Mhm.
physiology, and I competed between my high school biology contest in a state level. I won state level as well for biologists, and I knew course all in college level as well
Mhm.
for biology, and I decided, okay, this is like for me. I'll at the same time I like got um, introduction from genetics as well in high school, and I decided like not enough um, ex- possibilities in my in Siberia to take this direction.
Mhm.
At the same time, my dream like travel outside, I decided the best way if I combine biology knowledge to put in medicine and to find out more deeper what's going on inside us. And in the first
Mhm.
year in the medical school,
Mhm.
when I choose like medical school and to be a doctor, and at the same time I started like track and field. I
Mhm.
don't know why I choose 800 meters,
Mhm.
but it's just like came from my head. Okay, I would like to run 800 meters.
Mhm.
And my results, unfortunately, in the
Mhm.
first when I first year in the medical school, it was like women's results. I ran like 12 seconds, 12.2 seconds, 100, and definitely for 800 meters. 800 meters, this is like combination between
So
sprinters.
800 it's a very specific it has specific challenges. That's not common. So you have to basically have a combination of the skills, right? For 800. It's a very specific number, right?
Definitely. And 800 meters is combination sprinters
Mm-hmm.
abilities and endurance and anaerobic abilities, how you resistant to
Mm-hmm.
accumulate the lactates very quickly and
Mm-hmm.
you have to resistant for this. And this is like many things like you have to combine and to develop. At the
Mm-hmm.
same time, my coaches, when I started to train, they told like it's not possible for you to be medical student and to think about national team, high level, international level athletes.
Mm-hmm.
I decided for myself, definitely for medical school, we had 7 years, and every day we have to read like around like 200 pages for prepare for different courses. And for me, I decided like, okay, if like I will be sleep only 8 hours, it will be enough for medicine,
Mm-hmm.
and but not enough for sports. I decided like, okay, I will try to sleep only between 2 to 6, or just like 4 hours for sleeping, and it will be 4 hours will be for medicine, and 4 hours will be like for just like additional 4 hours I got for my sports. And just started and enforced myself for that, and and, and until like right now, like almost 45 years, I am doing like same way. At the same time, if like we're talking about longevity, if comparative my uh, like
Mm-hmm.
people like same age, for example, they sleeping, for example, 8 hours, I
Mm-hmm.
sleep 4 hours. It means like I am already got 12 years ahead them,
Mm-hmm.
because for my uh, activity and for some everything what I need, I just like like person from future.
Mm-hmm. So that, well, let's talk a little bit more about your personal discoveries. So, as I understood, the entire idea that, okay, so you decide you're on a stage of decision. I'm a medical doctor and I'm a sportman. And now you decided to make significant changes in your lifestyle to be able to accomplish what you want. But after I spoke with you for already several hours, I know that there are several very unique things that you incorporated in your lifestyle from early beginning that helped you not just thrive through but succeed tremendously. Tell us a little bit more about your personal discoveries. Well, first of all, you got this idea. So when you decided, okay, I would like to compete. I would like to compete on the professional level. And as I understood, your coach told you that that's not possible. You don't have prerequisites. You don't have uh, the track records of your parents and etc. who would be in the sports, right?
Yes, of course it was tough decision for me
Mm-hmm.
to set two goals at high level
Mm-hmm.
uh, bar, and I decided because I ran like who ran 100 meters, and they know it's like 12 seconds for 100 is very slow for men's.
Mm-hmm.
And when I talk like many around like researchers, scientists, they told like it's not possible for you to be sprinter because genetically you already slow guy, because 18 years old it's not possible to be sprinter like high
Mm-hmm.
level achieved. I decided okay, and how like it works like by cell level, and I
On
went to
scientific level. Yeah.
and I decided okay, if like we have DNA 99% plus we have same like everybody,
So
and
we're not
we
different from each other much. There's not much difference.
but we different only some like few, but in general the 99% we same like everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And if like we have like same DNA and very stable,
Mm-hmm.
and only we can change epigenetically, but not like specific direction change it. You can be sprinter, or you can be marathon runner or middle distance runner. Depends what kind of physiologically workouts you will or training program made.
Mm-hmm.
I'm broken all like scientific law like at the same time when being around me. I decided, okay, I will like find out what's going on inside our body, and we have um, we usually call like white and red fiber,
Mm-hmm.
muscle fibers, and white fibers is like for sprinters and combination, and red fibers for slow, like oxygenation,
Mm-hmm.
like without oxygen. But I found like red fibers, they have like two type fibers. One for just like for slow twitch fibers, and one intermediate. If you're doing like more speed workout, it will be recruit so slow twitch fiber to faster twitch fibers. And plus, I talked to sprinters coaches as well, and they gave me some specific like tips of what kind of improved my speed.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, like finally, from 10.2, I ran 10.3.
Mm-hmm.
It's who understand this is like very high level, and definitely
So it's
in
seconds. So this is how long it takes for you to run the distance.
it takes like a step by step, and in 4 years I ran 10.3, and in maybe in 2 years I ran 11 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
and like 1 second shaved, and 2 seconds shaved in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But for when I start 18 years old and 22 years old, in 22 years old, I've been like international level. Immediately, I got for 800 meters. This is like huge, helps to get this is level, international level. And at the same time, my group usually they went to in other discoveries, if like me talking about. Uh, My group usually went to high altitude area, and like
Mm-hmm.
Issyk-Kul, this usually call like Lake Issyk-Kul in Kyrgyzia, and to get a specific training program to resistant to hypoxia like condition. And but my study in medical school not allowed to me even skip like few days. It will be hard to after this to catch later. I decided, okay, I will probably take this is like high altitude inside myself, and starting to use training for hold the breath, and usually exhale, inhale, and
God,
during
that's oh my God, Valerie, it's so brilliant. So basically, so you manage. That's a management. It's really so. The thing is, you're gonna do this. You understood that you probably cannot for some reason go like join people. So you decided to create your own environment for yourself, train yourself. That's absolutely like that's impressive. So okay, so and you decided to create a specific training for you for breathing, right? Tell us a little bit about this idea of breathing. How does it work?
Yeah, now just a little bit more, a little bit introduction before, and at the same time, in my hometown in Irkutsk, we had program like you did an introduction for me and about me about like space program
Mm-hmm,
for astronauts, and this is was secret weapon to prepare Soviet Union astronaut to prepare for,
mm-hmm,
And Yuri Gagarin first astronaut who flew to in space
mm-hmm,
in 1961. But this program was secret weapon until end of 70s.
mm-hmm,
And I been in medical school 1979, and this program became public for everybody. And in our sports center, like we got this program, and starting to develop this program. And immediately from first year in medical school, I am starting to use this program, and it was program amazing for me to be guide as well for my training program. I went just like directly straight. I didn't do nothing mistake it works or doesn't work, what kind of system, how
Mm-hmm.
training program it will be. Because sometimes
Mm-hmm.
coaches uh, approach group approach
Mm-hmm.
without individual approach for everybody. But this program allowed to me to create for myself individual approach how energy metabolism different energy like from like speed workout creatine phosphate mechanism, and this is like for anaerobic workouts like different energy metabolism, and for aerobically as well different. And each metabolism has cycle recovery. If you're doing some workouts, for one person it will be takes recovery 2 days or 3 days, maybe 4 days. Depends what kind of intensity, what kind of period of training
Mm-hmm.
during year. And it definitely it helps huge for me to get right training program. This is why like my results very quickly grew up and achieved like for national level.
So
So
basically, this program allowed to have to measure, develop very specific metrics. With these metrics, you can understand: are your body in the recovery mode? Are you ready to for the higher achievements, or you have to like be more gentle to yourself? So those metrics that you got help basically help you understand in which stage your body, how ready you are, what are you ready for, right? Better listen, hear what's going on with your body, right?
yes, yes, and at the same time, before usually even right now, like
Mm-hmm.
many athletes to use a treadmill test with gas and analysis and take lactate and everything. And when I've been in national team, and we same way we use just like requirement for
Mm-hmm.
national team, we just like maybe 2 times per year
Mm-hmm.
went to like
Mm-hmm.
Moscow or some and did like this is like nation test, and plus we had treadmill test with gas analysis in Irkutsk as well, treadmill, and I hate it. This is like
So
because
tell us which kind of metric. So metric, it's oxygen. And when you mean about treadmill, they measure your heart rate, right? On the treadmill.
Yes, and how like this is every they have like step by step increase intensity and how like your VO2 max, what your efficiency aerobic consume and your body, and measuring how like your lactate level for different heart rate zone. Everything this is like it takes like so long, and plus you have to. This is like hard workout. I decided like okay, like we have this program, and I decided to create new approach for this way because scientists from Kiev, from Ukraine, like Dushanin and his group, in 80s, they made a hypothesis
Mm-hmm.
about resting myocard. Uh, yes, like our heart in resting position, just
Mm-hmm.
like in resting
Huh?
position, same like working muscles. I
Mm-hmm.
decided, okay, this is like I check like for treadmill test and like some comparative like resting position, plus create a lactate check blood test at the same time how it works, and actually
Mm-hmm.
like create program for even in resting position, not necessary to spend like any physical demand.
Mm-hmm.
before any workout, just like 5 minutes. You got your results where you are right now, like how you recover from previous workouts, and you know how you recover today, and 70%, 80%, 90%, and plus what kind of heart rate zone and what kind of lactate and what kind of pulse. Even threshold level like VO2 max or threshold level when aerobic zone goes to anaerobic zone. This is like
Mm-hmm.
usually this is 4 millimole per liter lactate
Mm-hmm.
if you take blood test. But if you work aerobically, it between 1.7 millimole per liter and 3.7, 3.8 before like 4 millimole per liter. And this is you can work aerobically. But our program shows what kind of heart rate zone for today, even morning time, it will be different than like evening time.
Mm-hmm.
It will be more precisely. It gave me just like tool uh, and definitely for myself, I knew it what kind of workouts, how many intervals or long run or
Mm-hmm.
intervals or fartlek and different type of workouts. I knew it for myself what kind
Mm-hmm.
of recovery I have and what kind of specific workouts I have to do particular day in particular time. Yeah.
What point I would like to mention, I'm sorry for the interruption. So basically, the entire idea of we will return to the Roman Markovich Bayevsky. We'll talk about it later. The entire idea that basically the Soviet astronauts were preparing for the specific problem. They had a very specific approach, and it was sophisticated procedure with with the need of a specific not just equipment, no specific environment involved. And you, as everything you develop basically 5 minute approach that will help, that actually helps to measure all the parameters needed to understand your body current situation and what needs to be done, like what time for the recovery, what is the best exercise for you, etc., right? So from the sophisticated program with the measurements and everything you created, you simplified it to the 5 minutes, as you said, in the morning, right? So basic things, right? And it's takes not that much time, but it help provides a lot of information, right?
Yes, and plus I as well created sometimes like we're not able to access for AKG, for example,
Mm-hmm.
to make electrocardiogram, and I as well like develop like for usually call like orthostatic method when you use just like every morning you
Mm-hmm.
can awake and just like lie down position you check your heart rate in a resting position and
Pulse, right?
and after that you stand up and check again like after 30 seconds and 1 minute between, and if you have for example like 4 to 7 different, for example,
Mm-hmm.
50 heart rate lie down position
Mm-hmm.
and 57 or 55 will be standing position. It means like you're ready for everything, just like 100% you recover it and no
Mm-hmm.
problem, everything like you can do it like whatever you would like for your training program,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, or even for daily activity, whatever you would like.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes like if you like lie down position like 50 and stand up it's still 50, it means you too much did lots of aerobically workouts like huge maybe some
Mm-hmm.
like long run and just like maybe
Mm-hmm.
threshold level, and this is like it means like okay for you for today definitely not necessary to run like a long run or aerobically run, need to switch workouts for intervals or did something maybe some
Mm-hmm.
strength workouts like in a gym, and plus or recovery, even recovery.
Mm-hmm.
If like over 12 seconds or 12 points different, it means you not recovery yet. And if like over 20 uh,
Mm-hmm.
points, you completely like starting overtrain
Mm-hmm.
itself. It's a very bad mark for athletes, and definitely just need to recover, need to rest in, go like take a break, take day off, or go to sauna,
Mm-hmm.
massage, and different like some for some recovery.
Otherwise, so if you will not follow it, so you can hurt, you literally can hurt your body if you're not like listening to it, right?
Yes, and plus additional, I decided, okay, this is like at the same in medical school. I work in just like night
Mm-hmm.
shifts. Sometimes, like for to get skills, I
Mm-hmm.
work in emergency department in cardio center. And after
Mm-hmm.
surgery, people and in emergency like ICU, for example, in
Mm-hmm.
the United States will be ICU,
Mm-hmm.
and I know like some people when came with usually called acidosis coma,
Mm-hmm.
when pH, like most of like diabetes, for example, like people who type 2,
It's basically like diabetes for
yeah,
people with
yeah,
diabetes. Okay. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and this is like unconscious because usually we have blood test. If you take blood test, pH,
Mm-hmm.
like no, we have pretty much like balance
Mm-hmm.
7.41, 7.45. This is
Mm-hmm.
normal pH for our body. But people who came like with coma, like with diabetes, for
Mm-hmm.
example, I saw like if like we they had like pH around like 6.8, 6.9, and if like we a little bit we usually IV by sodium bicarbonate and like 4%, and immediately switch it like for normal again like blood pH. I decided, okay, this is like very good test, and like we saved many lives for this approach. At the same time, I thought like, okay, this will be good for sports as well. If like I use uh, sodium bicarbonate, like just like
As we know,
usually
it's
how like
baking soda. Basically, it's very it's
yeah,
water.
baking soda, yes, like
Mm-hmm.
regular baking soda, and but I thought like how like it possible easy to simple way to how
Improve that
body
dramatically with
more
simple thing. Mm-hmm.
acidity or like more like alkaline side.
Mm-hmm.
And the best way I thought like by check by urine, like just
Mm-hmm.
like lakmus paper, and to check urine like morning time and like how you recover. Usually tests normal tests for urine like 6.4, 6.6, but
Mm-hmm.
usually after workouts, we if like hard workout, even
Mm-hmm.
sometimes like by urine, our page dropped like until like 5 or something 5.5. It means as well. It helps additional test helps me or my later my clients as well to manage daily activity as well. If, for
So basically,
example, if
you
I
don't have to do sophisticated blood tests. Everything you need is just check pH of your urine, which is absolutely available. Like lakmus or pH paper, it's absolutely available everywhere. It's very cheap. So you basically in the morning you can track the acidity of your urine, and that's very
uh,
good representation of your body overall acidity. As we understood, as I understood from what you told me, that acidity is associated not just with diabetes but with tons of serious diseases, especially cancer. People with a cancer has very serious acidity of the urine, especially like if we're talking about aging, if we're talking about like any serious chronic condition, the urine has high acidity. So our goal, if we want to have be healthier and be more be available for the achieving highest level of health and achievements in sports, we have to be sure that our urine has more basic alkaline level, right? So we have to always be sure that it's more, we have enough alkaline, so we don't have that much acidity. So we have to avoid multiple foods that associated with acidity, right? And it's not just about food. That's about behavior also. I've heard from you, from your interview, you told in Russian, because I know we're Russians, for us it's a lot easier, much easier to communicate in Russian. And sometimes it's hard to express everything we need in English. The thing is, you told that when you sleep, you mentioned that 4 hours of sleep you incorporated starting the day one at university, at medical school. It's you discovered with your coworkers that if people sleep from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., so basically if you sleep too much, you're putting your body in the highest level of acidity, right? So if you sleep more longer, you basically can hurt you the level of acidity basically gets high, right?
Yeah, in general, physiologically, yes. And when we more sleeping later, and our body turn more acidity sides, and this is if like sleeping more and more, and some people sometimes like slept like 12 hours and after like got like cold, for example, and they didn't understand why they got cold and something.
And
Uh,
or kidney stones, right? Kidney
no,
stones.
this kidney stones just anyway need time, but accumulate for something. But in general, this is uh, small tips looks like, but it's the same like main factor affect on our health. And this is like one way like I uh, when I started like to explore how baking soda works, and at the same time, this is like it's in the 80s, like beginning 80s. It's not possible to find no internet. Like and like, if you go to, I check like with my professors, they didn't know how
Yeah.
like it works, and plus I check. Something like many different, and later I found like in family Rerich, very famous Rerich in the world, famous family Rerich. They like went to explore Tibet, and Elena Rerich, and in her notes mentioned about I found in library about mention about baking soda need to use with hot milk only, like mix it, because I don't like hot milk, and usually I use like boiled water. Reason why, because we have to, if you use cold water baking soda, it our body not accept it, and you have to at least like warm in like 60 degrees Celsius or higher, but the best way like boil it. It will be usually calcinate, usually sodium, and it will be our body like immediately accept it. And you have to use just like only morning time or evening time before, but make sure like you don't have any food in your stomach. This we have specific, usually call. Um, Sphincter odi, when the stomach goes and goes to intestinal, they have open like sphincter odi. Usually, if like sphincter odi works only for warming or like water or whatever, just like open it. And if you use like most of like people tell, okay, this is like your stomach because they have like lots of acid environment, and how possible to soda to put inside, but no, they go straight. If you check in 20 minutes your urine, if you get, for example, 5.5, like in sports, like we had like managed, but in 20 minutes you got like already 7. after that. But usually one small like teaspoon or
Amazing.
half
So
tea.
basically, when you're taking warm water with the baking soda, you shouldn't be worried about acidity in the stomach because the specific sphincters that's associated with the connection stomach to the intestine, it opens and basically it doesn't touch that much the entire stomach. It goes directly to the, and we know that intestine is actually the pH high. It's not acid. Like for intestine, it's more alkaline. I mean,
All yeah, all like digestive system like beside like stomach, they have like huge alkaline, and like for example in his um, mm, like rectum or like intestinal starting point 9.5 environment alkaline side there.
plus
And
mouth, our mouth too, because all this tooth decays, all everything associated with the issues associated with acidity, the more we eat like in the mouth, because our mouth basically, it's, I think it's, I believe it was almost 9.5 or something like this in the mouth, so it starts with the mouth.
yeah.
So the basically the you, we can track pretty, we get a lot of information from urine. That's impressive. And the entire idea that you transform the huge like sophisticated medical test in something very practical and easy that you can do at home, you to yourself. And it's very important to be sure that your body is not that much into acidity stage because it will hurt you, and you can get chronic condition, you can develop diabetes, you can get kidney stones, like of course in the long run. Question, big question that I actually wrote in a letter for you. You mentioned multiple times that coffee is very good for you, but coffee is very acid.
Yeah, this is my favorite drink as well. This is like usually I use like at least like two, three times, even four times. If
Mhm.
I would like even before my go to sleep, I as well like can get cup and coffee and go to
And it
sleep. This is
doesn't influence your sleep quality.
no, it doesn't affect on the sleeping, and plus coffee good. Usually I use after my training program
Mhm.
because without sugar, and because this is produce.
And no milk.
Um, 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 uh,
It's clean
no,
black coffee.
possible milk. This is fine.
Mhm.
This is not so big deal. And or usually sometimes I use even sliced lemon because the lemon it looks like acid, but it helps to keep like more alkaline side because when after digestive system. But anyway, and
Mhm.
because after training program, most of like aerobically training program
Mhm.
and coffee stimulate ketones body in our like more efficiency because ketones this is like final product breakdown
Mhm.
lipids our lipids and most of all we have like three ketones usually
Mhm.
it will be called like beta oxybutyrate and acetacetate and acetone
Uh-huh.
but most of all like 71% beta oxybutyrate this is main energy source for
Mhm.
everything in our body and plus if we will talk about a little bit ketones it's as well it's very benefit for us sometimes to use ketogenic diet or
Mhm.
ketone diet. And reason why I used like this way in very popular in sports
Mhm.
um, because when I've been in medical school, like second probably grade, I had chance to subscribe and to deliver it Deutsche Athletics from DDR, usually called like Eastern Germany previous.
Mhm.
Right now it doesn't exist country, but before it DDR. And they had like lots of training program and it came from an American athletes like sprinters and they use typer usually called like no carbs
Mhm.
during like almost 4 weeks this is like a huge challenge for everybody without carbs to be. And at the same time,
But just a little interruption. Is it truth or not? So I tried myself diet like this multiple times, and what I learned and what kind of research I found is this thing works on the short term. There's no evidence. It works only, as you said, for like 4 weeks. On the long term, we don't have enough evidence saying that it's efficient. And as I understood, the best effect is the best. I don't know. I'm just wondering. The best diet is actually a combination. So the thing is, you still have to have your carbs, even if it's 30%. The thing is, carbs for us and for our brain is the major source of energy. Like adenosine triphosphate appearance from the from the carbs, and our brain is the main consumer of those type of things. So our brain cannot simply survive without carbs. The thing is, we need usually people who like think a lot and who use their brain, they eat a lot of sweets. As we know, it's a fact. The thing is, when we go on a keto diet, what your experience tells you? What about you? Do they like lose energy? Or like, did you see any evidence of you losing of energy? Did you see like really positive impact? Like, is it true or not that the like complete absence of carbs can you can end up with like less energy and feeling constantly tired? Yes, you will dry your body. You will dry your body 100%, but you will lose energy, and you will get, if you will after the diet, you can get back faster. Like you can get fat, and you can basically lose the results you get faster. So please tell. So did your patients who got to this keto diet, did they experience any like energy loss? What would you say? Can you comment? What's your perspective?
Yeah. First, I will finish with my like sports, and later I'll like explain about like my patients, for example, this like all clients. And when I find out like one and like second grade or something, like I started like I read about like keto diet, but it's usually called like typer, like no carbs, and usually carbs probably per day like 20-40 grams per day from any foods, but only this is like amount very strictly. And at the same time, I had very got like in my sports results, I ran like 800 meters, like 151, 151, 151, 151, not able to improve my time. I decided, like, okay, I will be choose like keto diet for 1 month before like main competition for like before national, and I did like 4 weeks, and after that, just like after 4 weeks, usually you're doing specific workouts, like burn completely everything. And 5 days before competition, you starting to use more carbs, like 70% carbs and 30% protein with fat. And I immediately got like results like 149. And later, like in national, I got some like first my national stage like I I ran like 148, and I got new level completely for my physical abilities and for my in at the same time I got like qualified for national team and competed over 20 years.
Okay. So,
Like, and will if like we're talking about my sport career over 20 years, at the same time I never got injury, not like surgery, even like never got injury. And some people like remember like mention like one like we talked about interview as well. They like maybe you did not so high intensity workouts, but I told him when I set national record, it being like the third rank in the world at the same year, like indoor. This is like definitely we
The thing
had
is, you have very unique. You have very so you have very good brain and you have very great medical background that helps. So everything you do, first of all, you feel your body very well. You know your body very well, and you do everything consciously. It's a huge. It's very hard to basically your body and your brain has harder time to hurt because you know what you're doing. That's a huge difference. Also, let's get back a little bit because we will get to your program. The breathing. You told me that on one particular stage, you basically could not join your the rest of the team to get training at a higher elevation, right? You decided to create a specific program with the breathing. So I know that breathing has very serious. Well, what I understood from you, I didn't know about it before. So that what you told me. Breathing has a huge impact on our longevity and the way what our body is able to withstand in general. And the entire idea how we breathe impacts completely the level of our wellness. And I would please tell us about your approach, about your breathing exercise, breath, you're holding the breath, how long you're able to withhold breath retention. And also, can you please tell the story, the scientific background of this idea? You told me a couple days ago about the embryons and the way why we are, as a human being, when more we operate, we more better our brain functions and our heart and brain functions much better in the stage of hypoxia. And we artificially should once in a while get back to hypoxia level just to simply restart our body. Tell this because that's, I think, absolutely impressive. And I think every single person would like to hear it.
Yeah, a little bit something again, like a little bit back when my sport career almost is over, and I competed in United States in Eugene, Oregon, and I never thought to move to United States or something. But anyway, and I competed here with all the Master Games, and I won 400, 800 meters here. And at the same time, I saw coach, local coaches, and like they asked me what I'm doing in my country. I told like I'm physician. We have lab. I have like specific program, space program came from astronaut and updated right, by for athletes right now. Like and we work with many thousand athletes, and we achieved many like world champions, world record, and Olympic champion, like many like national stage. And they was very intriguing, interesting, and they invited me for the next year to come for another some like master level competition, and I brought this is asked me to brought this technology. I brought with me and I shows introduced, and they be like immediately impressed, and they told like okay, we would like to make company, and they invest money for this. This is why reason I got first like working visa and starting to work in United States. And immediately, and we first 3 years did lots of presentation everywhere. Like we got impressive results as well here. And after 5 years, and for me, I achieved like huge, like everything, like for sports. For me, blind spot it was for fitness and for health. I didn't have enough data for this area. and for and plus disability people. I,
Mm-hmm.
I sold part of my company because I was co-founder as well, part of like principal, one of the
Mm-hmm.
five principals. I sold my uh, uh, company, part of my company, and I developed a new business like a mental developmental disability
Mm-hmm.
center, and like for people with brain disorders.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, additional, I continue work with fitness people and health. And when I accumulate data, big data, and our previous device, it's not uh, was enough for me, for my standard, what in criterion what I develop it. I try to find like best device in the world for heart rate and heart rate variability. I understood like we were pioneer in the United States 1999 when
Mm-hmm.
I came. I brought this technology. Nobody knows about this technology. And right now, like spread, right now, like we can check in a watch and everything. This is like
Mm-hmm.
heart rate variability can they use, but unfortunately, not so many heart rate variability devices like correctly measure because many artifacts and everything, and it gives like sometimes like mislead people. This is,
Mm-hmm.
but for me, definitely it's not enough. I understood like I'm doing the right things, but my device shows different parameters, and I found like a checklist on internet. I thought like only in Russia possible to find this is device, not
Mm-hmm.
any. And in 20 companies, I choose specific technical parameters. I didn't know who is something. Just like I order it, and
Mm-hmm.
when I test it, this is like exactly 100% match for my criterion and standard.
Mm-hmm.
I got like this. This is like while in Stradivari for me. This is like if like call, and this is I got partner. I told
Mm-hmm.
like who guy like Yuri, usually like Semyonov, and he was created. This is device exactly right parameters and everything. And at the same time, I found like he worked with Bayevsky, who developed heart rate variability method, and work with
Bayevsky was
cardio.
the basically father, founding father for the method of like growing astronaut, Soviet, preparing Soviet astronaut to space, right? And they
Yes,
and they developed specific approach to measuring heart rate. So he developed a method that basically puts a heart in the head of everything, and there are multiple ways that you can measure a lot of things in what's going on in the body according to the heart rate variables. It's not just heart rate; it's different. Like heart rate variables is a little bit different, right? It's more sophisticated thing, right?
yes, and plus after just like I accumulated data and put through this program, and like we had like millions and millions big data from, and plus with long history as well, and like not like only one time tested or something. And this is like a very good opportunity to turn our program for to find best approach for radical longevity for health span and lifespan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably in like 2015 and 2017 we found way how like it works, and plus to use my discoveries from sports. I think athletes it's the ideal biological subject
Mm-hmm.
because it shows how like physical ability uh, on athletes possible, how faster, how stronger, everything like beyond like regular people who not involved in sports, but it shows our limits, like extent, not like limits, extent, like more what kind of abilities we have. We create like a new company, like usual call it Varicar Star, and in starting to use different angle view for longevity, to use ancient mechanism, to find ancient mechanism
Mm-hmm.
which helps to discover it new doors our abilities and break this is mm, some like specific wall what we have right now, like we have like for longevity around like 120 122 years, that's it, and it's like not possible to be beyond. And for me it was very challenge. At the same time I uh, during like for past 10 years understood like way like biotech longevity, what kind of direction right now like in everything. And
And you wrote your book. I'm putting a picture on the slide with your book. So you wrote a book dedicated to longevity called Возраст Мафусаила. Well, there's no issues nowadays to read
yeah,
any language because we know people can translate uh,
yeah,
nowadays. So you wrote actually a book dedicated to longevity. Возраст Mufasail. And we know that Mufasail is son of Adam and he lived more than 900 years, right?
yeah, this is like H Methuselah or Myth or Reality. This is my book. I published it 2020, and
So longevity, you got new
yeah,
direction.
this is like shows we developed a protocol, longevity pattern, and it shows how it works. If like we back to conversation for about embryo, and uh, this is like many scientists in longevity scientists, very good scientists, like school from Harvard, like team from Gladyshev, and he's from Russia as well, and he found like his team, like if like we have when from mom and father like make zygote go to like in the embryo and during pregnancy, and in first week like during gastrulation usually call like 5 to 7 days, all methylation marks which something mutation, because during for example uh, mother got like maybe 30 years old and she got
Mm-hmm.
some specific maybe mutation by DNA or something, and like from father as well like maybe something as well
Mm-hmm.
like accumulate something. But when like make new baby like fetus embryo in the first week they like take methylation mark off, and this is like new body like completely without any mutation. It was healthy body delivered it in 9 months. And for longevity very popular right now like many experiment with mice usually, and how it works, and sometimes like we they use usually call like parabiosis, when like young mouse and like older mouse like a connection blood circulation between each other, and how like factors young mice effect on our old, usually helps old but not helps like young, usually in most of like environment, but it still works very temporarily, maybe a couple months, and not possible to radical to increase like lifespan. And I decided like if to use conception parabiosis And plus I have tool like we have heart rate variability device. And usually heart rate variability device, we have like spectrum breathing waves, like hiding spectrum breathing waves by frequency
Mm-hmm.
analysis, by Fourier analysis. And they have specific frequency for each part like of our body, like shows how our brain works, how like internal and hormonal level, how humoral, like in the blood circulation, active ingredients, and how like uh, sinus work node in our heart muscles, like and breathing wave, like how like affect breathing frequency.
So let me interrupt you. Just to sum up what you said, we know that embryon combining this probably already having not clean DNAs from mother and father. Embryon gets RNA from both of them, and it got in the moment in a few weeks that it zeroes up. It zeroes up. The thing is, there are multiple conditions embryons exist in, including extreme hypoxia in the mother's womb, right? So the embryon got a very specific condition where all his information basically he got from mother and from father, it zeroes up, right? And the entire idea how it possibly can be that embryon got to the new human being. I mean, that's of course it's a scientific, it's a natural law and like scientific question. But the thing is, as understood, it's your own discoveries, findings, and probably that's what you found that embryos actually exist in a stage of hypoxia, and the entirety how it breathes, and entirety how it gets oxygen is totally different that we thought. And the thing is, as I understood, you develop this specific device and you develop this approach that you apply to train your patients. Basically, you apply this methodology. You found out that when hypoxia is actually when you're putting your brain, heart, and body in the stage of it's able to literally zeroes up on a certain level the condition of the health. So basically, I know that you have specific data and you have patients who actually improved significantly their body. I remember you told about your mother, other patients with a serious neurological disease, heart disease, that using the method you developed helped to significantly improve their health, even get rid of multiple health conditions simply with working with hypoxia, right? So basically putting your body in a hypoxic stage, right?
Yes, and again, just like before we'll finish like this conversation, I would like when we turn for longevity side and develop a program, and when I got like right device for myself, and immediately for me it was everything clear. What why like I set national record, why like something like lots of white blinds like spots which I got in sports and transfer for fitness and health, and I got right answer and turn for longevity. And with like longevity, we check like World Organization Health usually shows like main death comes from cardiac disease over like almost 55-60%, and 15% around like 15 from cancer, and the rest of like for maybe 10-15% from brain disorders like dementia, like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. This is three main field killed us and not allowed to us to extend health span, or like health span and lifespan definitely, and to pass like 120-122 years what we have right now, like currently statistically confirm. And I decided like, okay, this like if like we developed this program and we understood like it works uh, theoretically, like this like everything like looks like everything, but by sports it works very well. This is like not a big problem. But for longevity, when accumulate data and by protocol, I decided like choose three cases, like hard cases from cardiac disease. Usually, cardiac disease, almost 48% goes problem with hypertension, like high blood pressure. And second case, it was came after I got call from Munich after we did like some speech in international congress cardiology. I got like call from Munich from guy who got moya moya. Moya moya, this is like rare disease, brain disease, and usually comes like no unknown pathogenesis and just like starting suddenly and people small vessels blocked and starting necrosis brain specific parts and people usually lost memory and this is like um, very not treatable and he had like got all treatment from Munich guy and mentioned he like last chance for him like a good like brain surgery like trepanation and like to clean some specific vessels and this is last chance for him and third case like I got patient with cancer 4 stages this metastasis and the colon cancer and we decided like to use like how like our program it works and this is for hypertension. Then I took my mother because my mother, like, she being like 77 years old at the same time, and her blood pressure being like 250 to 130. And this is she's not able to completely even move, like almost ready to like one leg in the cemetery. Uh, I managed her by phone and told her like how you hold your breath please like she hold your breath like inhale and here and inhale like 15 seconds and inhale like only 10 seconds and
Oh my gosh.
I and all medication it didn't work as well for her like completely and I follow our protocol. In 2.5 months, she got 110 blood pressure and 70, and her pulse dropped like from 130 to almost 55 to 60. And she started holding breath during in 2 months, all close like 2 minutes. But if like check right now, she is right now like 89 years old and she hold like maximum hold your breath like she because this is an ancient mechanism for everybody and she hold your breath like 3 minutes 30 seconds
Wow.
inhale and hold your breath and inhale like 1 minute 40 seconds it's like shows like if like we're talking um, uh, uh, longevity escape velocity this is like already like even like for this approach she's physically not able to do any physical exercise but she lives in her own home and independence completely but she got some problem knee problem maybe 30 years ago but she is not able to do any physical specific but she works like in a back plenty whatever this like very slow but anyway she's active anyway
And
but this is
improved. So so this breathing is improved. Like she totally recovered, right? Like she.
yes and she's keep control but still she still has medication like support like small amount and for unfortunately for this age motivation less for people because with age, but her brain is bright and she's reading and everything everything. This is like she's very smart. And a mechanism hypertension, it means usually in our body we have 6-7% CO2.
Mm-hmm.
CO2 and and if like hypertension, CO2 level drop until like 3.5%.
Mm-hmm.
This is why not blood exchange circulation not so good, and this is why people got
Mm-hmm.
high blood pressure and the rest of lots of health problem later, like brain and everything. This is accumulating.
It's interesting.
But and after this analysis our big data, like millions and millions population, we found like three-factor effect on the longevity. This is disbalance between like CO2 and oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
Just like good example, hypertensions. And plus, second, this is uh, disbalance with pH. More after 40, we gain more acidic side than like alkaline side before. And third, it will be not enough energy. This is like energy drop as well.
We like biological batteries.
Yes, and even like my definition, I use like for aging. This is like systemic disease, self-destruction program with activation and increase entropy. This is like I published it in my book in 2020. This
Mm-hmm.
is right now like a company um, Peter Fedichev as well, Giro, they have as well developed with independence. Like he is well like on the right approach for him, like for developing his physics background
Mm-hmm.
and for like effect entropy. And but most of people talking about like physics, like entropy, like second law thermodynamics, like for closed system, but biological system is open. But I'm not exactly agree, like our biological are not completely open and usually accumulate specific after 40 specific stuff and blocked. We have many blocks in our body, and it shows like if, for example, saturation oxygen uh, is like we have like rate like 95 98%, but we found way how like to break this is blocked and to use we have
AI
many
mechanisms. So, but all your like the patients you mentioned with the cancer in the myomite, they got recovered, right?
yes, and the other guy, like for example, mentioned from Munich, from brain. This is for Moya Moya, and he in 6 months recovered it completely. And plus, he been the former runner, like middle distance runner, and in 1 year and a half, he competed world championship in master world championship in Poland in 2019.
Wow.
Yeah, and if like um, his like pictures, for example, he been like over 100 kilograms, and right now he's 65 kilograms, and completely different body and like completely different person, and
So
life
you help them
completely changed.
break all those blocks, as you said, using Asian mechanisms that you discovered yourself, that you collected, basically, right?
Yes, and because before we gave him this program,
Mm-hmm.
um, by our program, we found usually Bayevsky developed methods, heart rate variability, and this is like two contour usually call like manage our body, like autonomic contour, like heart
Mm-hmm.
muscles, like in a resting position, and central contour, our brain. And usually they work sympathetic, parasympathetic, usually nerve system responsible for this balance. And if like more demand, usually our brain starting to work harder and gives like more hormones and stuff like that. And when I check uh, using conception parabiosis mentioned
Mm-hmm.
before, I try to find uh, young mice, just like looks like young mice, and in our brain, because I understood like only for longevity, very important to find specific approach to manage or spot like our brain. And I found like cerebellum. This is a spot which contain many ancient mechanism which helps to find out what kind of like usually yeah, call like stars and needle immortality inside like cerebellum.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, like researchers like Gladyshev or some like they found like all methylation mark like gone. But if like we check like how fetus develop it in womb during pregnancy during 9 months, we saw like this is pregnancy uh, s- like environment contains so high resistant like high altitude environment, maybe 5 to 10K if like go like high altitude, and saturation oxygen between 50 to 70, 50 to 70. But when I competed and my saturation oxygen being as well like around like between 50 to 70, I decided but uh, but at the same time I'm aerobically this is like develop it.
Mm-hmm.
Because so high resistant to hypoxia, I broke in barrier which we have for regular people who not involved to train resistant to hypoxia. But this is like ancient mechanism. I decided, okay, if like our cerebellum has ancient mechanism, need to activate them. This is mechanism. How like possible activate? Because cerebellum developed it in many millions maybe years ago, like in different atmospheric, and they didn't have enough, uh, not too much oxygen before. I decided if I put uh, uh, just like a more clear picture. Right now, like many biotech companies use factor factor Yamanaki, which
Mm-hmm.
helps cells, like adult cells, to this is guy who got Nobel Prize in 2012, probably this like, and for he shows like any adult cells possible to um, roll back until like embryon mm, cells. And right now, like many companies, I know, like in Canada, like Yuri Dagin and Sebastian and Belmont, this like working partial reprogramming mm,
Mm-hmm.
cells, like and try to find windows, because for us not necessary to be activate factory Manaki and to be embryon. Definitely, we would like to keep our identity, our brain, and everything like what we have right now. I decided like if like this is like so high risk, and plus if like more use factory Manaki, they have risk like teratomes. Teratomes
Mhm.
like cancers develop it for most of all. And I use like different approach. I decided like if like we put uh, embryon environments for embryon environment like 50 to 70, and they like take off methylation mark, I will be like activate cerebellum to
Mhm.
put our cerebellum in adult like right now like we have it very safe non-invasive program. I uh, achieved like for example 50 to 70 saturation oxygen by resistant to hypoxia and activate non-invasive cerebellum. And when I check by EKG, we saw our brain goes autonomically, works separately, and upgrade itself by himself.
It's like a reset button for the computer, right?
Yes, yes, and it's like it's very. This is for me because like this is my tools, like what I got from Bayevsky, like from my partner.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, tools like shows like and write all information 100% because for this uh, device for EKG you have to get like 100% clear EKG to get right spectrum frequency. And whenever I activate through cerebellum, we found way how like it works, how like brain upgrade, not like usually by Bayevsky
Mm-hmm.
method, autonomic contour, center contour, they work together.
Uh-huh.
But by our approach, we separately divided, brain works separately, our body works separately, and
Mm-hmm.
25% energy comes usually for brain, it comes
Mm-hmm.
for our body for recovery. And plus our brain works separately, and we'll see how it works. And by spectrum analysis, we see. This is in my book, I show us as well. But anyway,
Also, talking about
eh,
the book, a little. The thing is, we talk about like hypoxia, all those amazing, outstanding discover. I mean, outcomes. You mentioned about the ability to absolutely restart and recover body, and it works perfectly for the all the health concerns and longevity. Um, Talk a little bit about Greenland shark. I think we have to mention like just for fun sake because I think it's very interesting thing. I know that it's in your book and you mentioned it multiple times. So the Greenland shark is known for living more than 300 years or so, right? It's 200, 300 years, right?
uh, yeah, this is like even they live more. We don't know because we just like some cat shark, and because they live very deep, like very deep, 1 mile or 1K, usually 1,000 meters, very deep, and live longer. And this is good.
They don't have
Uh,
oxygen. They don't breathe that much. They don't have oxygen. What's wrong? And we cannot eat them. What's in their mhm.
but yes, and but they have very big developed liver, like 25% from like if comparative ratio for body, but
Mhm.
25% like liver, and liver produce usually call like non-saturated, usually call like omega 2, omega 2. This is squalene. This is like C30H50, non-saturation, and plus combination 6 molecules water. And for squalene need additional 1200 ion hydrogen. And if like combined like with 6 molecules water, and they produce 3 molecule oxygen and 6 CO2. And
So
this is,
basically, its body generates oxygen internally.
yes, internally. And we have the same mechanism as well. And usually, if like comparative squalene level, uh, shark shark has maybe 1% from whole body, but our body, human body, has like almost 12% squalene. And instead, like a big organ in our body, like in shark this liver, but we have skin, big organ. This is and our skin contain like 12%. And this is the best way, like if we're talking about longevity. And when I wrote book, I uh, calculate like 7 level functional stage.
Mm-hmm.
And people who live until 120 will live like in a level like 1, 2, 3, like 60, 90, 120. This is like pretty much like very simple explanation.
Mm-hmm.
And but if you break saturation oxygen beyond 90, like starting like 70, 80, if like between like 50 to 80,
Mm-hmm.
and you move like level 4, usually I call like this is like immortality level starting. And I working with some San Francisco company, genetic company. And I suspect like probably we have like our with our approach uh, biological age, to check biological age genetically. And usually we use like
The
saliva.
company called True something True Age,
uh,
right?
uh, this is like Trumilab. Trumilab I work here. And I did experiment as well. uh, I choose like 5 people, include me as well. And like one guy, like he's like 65 years old, and he under our program. And other guy, like he's young, like 33 years old, but very smart because he's, if you know, like in the United States, SAT test, usually they during high school, like writing, and he got score 1600 from 1600. This is like world record for high school.
Mm-hmm.
And he immediately acceptable for Harvard, Yale, some Stanford. But he graduated from Yale and went law school, and plus additional he got course in Oxford. And he lived in Eugene. And he came, I told him, like, okay, can I check your saliva, like for gene test for biological age? Because he's very smart. And when I checked like him and his age being older 3 years, like he was being 33 years old and his age like 36. Another lady, I took like from different diet, usually vegan, completely vegan, body mass index very skinny, that's like 22. And she's very active, like Sweden, usually walking and with sticks and some. And she being 50, 61 years old, but younger for 2 years old, but by biological age. And for um, uh, guy like being like martial art, like he's champion, national champion, and like he's been 59 years old, but he's regular of 18, and he got like 61 years old. And for my guy, like who like coaching by our program, and the like he been at the same time 65 years old, and but by biological age 51. This is like radically completely different.
Much
And
better than anything else.
yeah, this like 51 years old. And
And
this
you
is
are, by the way, your results even more impressive, right? So
uh,
the test, you
uh,
like 20 years
No, no,
younger.
no. This is my test pretty much like similar, like around like 15 less, but other part, because I check second time my biological age, and during 1 year, it like changed it only point 0.1. It means if like continue this way, it's like theoretically possible to live even 1200, if like continue. And after that, I decided like made group, and right now like I have like small group, like pretty much like because not so many people able to get breathing hold the breath like between 4 to 6 minutes. But anyway, I use like 50 to 60 years old. This is group, and right now, like we have a good chance from my group to pass 120. The first goal like 120, but
That's impressive.
and a priority. Of course, like it will be like health span. They're very active and they're doing everything like all parameters very nice, and this is like our like first goal to pass 125, and later just like
A little interruption again. I know that you have to go. I know we already speak almost 2 hours, almost 3 hours with. um, when we talk about Greenland shark, you mentioned the leader, and you mentioned the squalene. The shark is able to generate oxygen inside of your body, and you basically told us that we can basically increase our longevity using. We have same we have same chemical reaction, but not in we have chemical reaction is same chemical in our skin. So we literally can work with our skin and activate the breathing of our skin. And I know that it can happen via multiple ways, via UVs, specific light. But the entire idea that one of the mechanisms you have in your method is actually activation of the skin, abilities of ancient mechanisms of our skin of breathing and improving, because we know that the skin is the biggest part of our body, right? And that's very impressive. The entire idea that your group already demonstrated impressive results in terms of their actual age and their biological age. And as you mentioned, you compared your results with the results of like people with different diets, different approach, martial arts, vegetarian diet. And basically, your approach already demonstrated higher results, especially in terms of longevity. And you're heading to it. So your goal is basically reach 200 years or more, right?
the first step, yes, because theoretically right now like definitely so far like even my book like age Methuselah myth or reality, and right now like theoretically this is reality, is like starting right now, and only need to wait like 1000 years, so like even 125 years until our group like pass this like first um, just like border or there like break wall what we have right now, and we'll see what happened, and plus additional uh, project like we have like this like for young couples as well, if they use like this is healthy approach by our protocol, and possible right now like born new baby, it will be already turn on super abilities as
So
well.
you are developing a program that will help develop a Superman from the womb of from the zero, from embryon point, for the parents to help um, to give a birth a Superman that will be able to to live the longest and healthiest life, right?
Our prediction it will be this is like we have everybody has it. This is abilities.
Yeah.
Only right now, like we blocked this ability, but with our program, our prediction, it will be like this is baby will be if like depends what kind of environment they have around, like maybe some musician or physics or some like athletes, whatever. This is like a different direction, or maybe poetry. This is everything. This, but anyway, this is abilities will be developed like much higher, and
Activated.
plus, yes, activated, and
By the way,
plus,
I would like to be part of. Can I get into your program? Because I'm highly interested and I'm willing to participate. If you need some, I mean, it's very interesting. I'm very impressed, and I'm willing to donate whatever my time if need. I mean, if needed, because I'm interested in. I had a lot of like health challenges in my life, and I was born in 1986 when you've been in this time competing in the Kiev in championship. And I was basically very close to the explosion of the new. I had we my cousin, like we have in the family some basically outcomes of this explosion. But anyhow, that's very important. I mean, I'm highly interested. I would like to get involved. Anyhow, so those ancient mechanism is absolutely able to activate and restart and get rid of blocks, and already demonstrated impressive results for multiple people. For the athletes, you're training athletes, right? You're training people with a specific condition, chronic condition with a specific disease, neurological diseases, cardio diseases. There are multiple research done already. There are devices, instruments, software, and hardware developed on your side that's actually already exist. Question: what is your future plans? It's one thing. And the last thing I would like to, the last question that I'd like to finish our conversation is, tell us, how do you envision future human? How do you, and what is your vision of the future of humanity's health?
Right now, like we got most of like in a level 4. Right now, we shopping in a level 4, like what kind of new doors for unchained mechanism, what we have, what kind of abilities, and plus additional, we found like energy, like what free energy we have access open from even this is right now like it's maybe many people doesn't accept, but this is like because we live in a it like in a space as well, like part of space in galactic, and we have free energy around us, but we're not able to get for level 1 2 3, we're not able to get access for this energy. For level 4 allow to get energy from ether. The reason why like I'm talking about energy, um, if you remember like Mendeleev, like he developed it like a chemical periodic chart for chemical elements, and when before his diet, and he published an article in St. Petersburg journal. He told like we have not possible to understand energy without ether. Without ether, it means he told like he wrote article usually hydrogen with lighter elements usually, but he told like Newtoni and Crutoni, this is like a lighter, just like almost ether. And at the same time, when if you check particles, how like atom, like more small element like boson Higgs
Mm-hmm.
particles, and they have complementary, like usually call like for example a quark. They have like uh, usually up or down and strange quark and like this like triple triple, and any particle has like three copy. I
Mm-hmm.
thought this as well, like if like we have DNA, but anyway, this is like contain
Mm-hmm.
particles as well, and definitely we have like three copies as well, like our DNA, and our one DNA with us, one in ether and one something in library, and who made us. And right now, like for our future perspective, to find out like who we are, why we are here, and who made us. Only level like 4, 5, 6, 7, and gives us answers. Right now, like we have an like ladder, like step um, ladder, like walking. Like right now, like we shopping like level 4, and if like we able to develop it like shark endogenous oxygen activate more stimulate, we working right now like for this way, and we can swimming underwater like 5, 6, 7 hours maybe one day without like ichthyander like
Getting out of the water.
yeah, yeah, we have this is ability but only need a button like pushing a button. This is like a tuning, and we found tuning like for uh, manage saturation oxygen, for example, for everybody right now.
So
Like
you think that in the future we possibly can do it, right?
yes, yeah, this is like near
So,
future. This is
and
this
what
is
do you
right
think?
now.
What do you think about our ability? Like, I know, talking, getting back to the astronauts. I know that our guys. I just literally checked that our Russian astronauts are usually able to be. They usually give world records in terms of how long they stay. As I recall, last person stayed in the space more than 3 years or so, like 685 days or so. You think that our ability to stay, to withstand, would be ability to stay like outside of the in the space will be high, much higher, right?
This
Just
is it depends like how like mm, technology will like, move forward, and right now like it looks like um, mm, for example, even like Russian Cosmism, for example. For example, Nikolai Fedorov, he being like involved Tsiolkovsky involved like Korolev involved like
it's
Baevsky and yeah,
best people of the
Baevsky,
cosmos.
Gagarin. Yeah, and right now like uh, device Baevsky, we continue. This is like approach as well. It looks like this device will be maybe in the future as well. If you're talking about future, it will be best device for manage health in between like flying between planets as well for future.
Yeah, that's impressive. Also, uh, as understood, I looked at your Instagram and I saw the way you're approaching the entirety of the your perspective on aging, and according to what information I got when we spoke, you're basically saying that all your patients, clients, athletes, the way how they recover, the ability of their body restart, it doesn't matter how old they are. So age does matter. And age, it's a disease, and it's actually exists only in our own brain and our own perception. And there's a high chance that in the future we'll be able to get rid of this button, right? On a
Yes,
super
yeah,
level.
they just like need open new door. And for example, right now, like for biotech, who looking for developing drugs for aging, like combat like aging, and but for level one, level two, level three, this is not possible to find like best decision because our body blocked and not able to move to level 4, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Only level 4 allow to do uh, lots of abilities and open for access for free energy, like, and everything. This is like completely different. And definitely we still need biotech for level 1, level 2, level 3, and this is will be like supplements. But for level 4, this is, I will say, like, if talking about future, but future it's right now, like if you got level 4, I told this it will be like, welcome to quantum medicine. Quantum medicine, it means like we can use healthy DNA from ether and to treat itself from health and like to treat our biological body and not necessary to worry about like specific but medication still like like supplements it will be but not like main and quantum medicine it will be future like close near future its future is starting right now.
Amazing. It's so, I mean, super futuristic, super impressive, a lot, high ambitious, and a lot of promises. Well, thank you so much for your time, and we wish you all the best. And it was very impressive conversation, and we hope a lot of people will be able to hear and see it. Okay, thank you so
Thank
much.
thank you.